Hello,
Hey,
I'm David Kay, the CEO of the American Health Law Association. Each year, the board of directors approves a slate of esteemed individuals selected by the Fellows Coordinating Council as AHLA Fellows. These longtime members have shown a commitment to the association through their participation as speakers, authors, mentors, and leaders. They are regarded as one of the top health law professionals in the legal community, and all have been actively participating in AHLA and the health law profession for 15 or more years. While the bios of these new fellows are posted on the AHLA website, it is just a snapshot of their many accomplishments. I want to give you the chance to hear from them personally and learn more about why they deserve the Fellows honor. The 2022 Fellows class includes 7 exceptional individuals. Today, I have the distinct honor to be speaking with Myra Selby. Myra, welcome. How are you doing today?
thank you, David. I'm doing well, thank you.
So we'll kick it off generally to capture how it feels to be an AHLA Fellow.
It feels great. It feels great for a couple reasons. One, it means that, my peers have recognized that I have been at this work for a minute. And also it means that I join, as a fellow, I join a really delightful and esteemed group of health lawyers. And even though AHLA has afforded the ability to connect with other health lawyers across the country, being in the company of the fellows in particular is really a special moment.
It is a special group, and you add quite a lot of unique skill and ability and a lot of outstanding leadership in the profession and in AHLA. So I'm going to take a step back. Why did you go to law school, and why did you select health law as a career area?
Well, why I went to law school grows out of my first attempt at a career path, and that was that I really wanted to be a psychiatrist because at that time in my life, I really was intrigued with the mind and how mind and body work together and sometimes don't work so well together. Part of my undergraduate program was to do what we called then career service, which was to get some sort of an internship and work along with someone who was doing the kind of work that you wanted to do. And then you had to write about it. Well, the work that I did was working with the patient advocate, who was an attorney, at that time, our state mental hospital. So this was a state institution, and we worked mostly on the forensic unit, which was lots of people convicted or accused of some really heinous behavior, and in some instances, crimes. I did that for 6 months, and during that 6 months, I came to the conclusion that I wasn't really cut out to be a psychiatrist for a number of reasons, but I so appreciated the experience because working alongside that patient advocate showed me that there was another role that I thought I was better suited for. And so that was the first time that I began to sort of explore the possibility of going to law school. Why did I choose health law? I didn't. It chose me. I started out as a labor and employment lawyer and really loved it. But when I came to my current law firm, Ice Miller, I was asked if I would be interested in another area. And I said, what? And the answer was health law. And I said, what is that? I don't know what it is. At that time, I'd never heard of it before. There were no courses offered in law school with that name. And they said to me, and I blame AHLA and all of its predecessors, because they gave me 2 huge, thick binders and said, go in that conference room with these. And after you've read them, come back and let us know if you might be interested. So I thought this was going to be a short adventure, that I would go into that room and come out in hours and say, heck no. But that's not what happened. I went into that room again and again over the course of a week. And when I came out after a week, I said, I would very much like to try this. So I did not choose health law, it chose me.
That is great. That is great. And I do remember the binders. I think many folks who will listen to this, many of us will remember the binders.
Yes, the binders.
And what a fantastic story, and a connection to the grounding of that early entry into health law. And then, as they say, the rest is history.
Yeah.
You took off in that, and you took off in AHLA. And in fact, the next question that pops to mind is, how has AHLA helped you remain connected with your health law colleagues?
Well, when I joined AHLA, it was really, I would call it the only game in town. It was the only place where you could go and feel confident about learning what was going on in the field and learning about it in a timely manner, so that it would actually help you in counseling clients, in doing deals, trying cases, advising on regulatory changes and the like. So AHLA has always been, the source of substantive support and backing for me professionally. Separate and apart from that, being a member of an organization like this is one of the joys, I think, of practicing law, because I think you grow and you advance through connecting with other lawyers and practitioners. And AHLA, by providing so many opportunities to meet and sometimes work together directly, sometimes just meet one another at a meeting, all of those instances, and to this day continue to be what to me is the value of membership.
And what a powerful message that is, that we don't do this alone. And that through our journey, we stay connected with those who are in our circles. And so looking back a little bit, if a new AHLA member asked you how to get involved in the association, what would you tell them?
Well, I think I would tell them to simply look at what the myriad of things that are offered. And of the myriad, what speaks to them. And I would say what speaks to them, rather than if you're a deal lawyer, go to the transactions meeting. I would not be directional in that sense. What I would say is there's a lot there, and be interested, be curious, because your curiosity will lead you to connecting in a way that really matters. I think I might actually give them the one piece of advice that I have given, which is, if you can, try to go to the annual meeting, because the annual meeting offers a wide array of opportunities to get involved, either by joining a committee, or going to a presentation that will intrigue you and you'll be able to meet the speakers, or going to one of the social events and you'll be able to make a really good connection with someone who will become a friend. So I think that's what I would say to a new.
Yes, connecting as a friend. And in fact, as you said earlier, sometimes these friends, these acquaintances become lifelong friends in our world. If you could give your younger self one piece of advice, what would it be?
It would probably be to relax a little bit more and a little bit better, to to be observant and appreciate what's around you, but also to understand that doing your best is all that you can do, and that's all that's really expected or should be expected. I think that what I tell, especially young women and lawyers of color that I mentor these days, is you are enough. You're enough. And I think I would tell my younger self that.
I think if there's anything, folks need to hear that message over and over and over. I think for many of us, we lose sight of that mantra in the heat of the day.
Yes.
So thank you for sharing that powerful nugget there. But as we look at you, Myra, as you think back over your career, and I know you're not done, as you look back over your career, what has been the accomplishment that you are most proud of, and why?
Oh, I would say my service on the Indiana Supreme Court. Why? Because it allowed me to serve all of the people in the state of Indiana. And that was both an honor and a real opportunity.
And I suspect that opportunity has also provided a great platform as you continued your career even after time on the bench.
Oh, yes, yes. I still work in connection to the judiciary. I chair our state's Commission on Race and Gender Fairness, which is a Supreme Court commission. And I do service whenever the court calls me to. So.
And I know the association has benefited from your interest, and we talk about equity and the work that you're doing still now on the bench, the work you did here with diversity and inclusion and access. It has been tremendous and has been a great springboard for a lot of the work that we're doing today in the association in that space. So again, I want to thank you for that.
Of course, glad to hear it. And yes, it remains an important part of everything that I do, everything that I do in the law firm. I'm now our law firm's partner in charge of equity, access, and inclusion. And so we continue to do that work. And I feel gratified that I'm still able to work in those spaces as well.
More questions for you. One, can you share what traits you feel are most important in being an effective lawyer?
Oh, I guess I would say integrity, I would say devotion to the craft of lawyering. I believe lawyering is a craft, but I also believe that success comes from being devoted to the craft in whatever way you're practicing. It's different depending on the type and nature of your practice is. And then I would say also that I think it's important to kind of be curious, because, you know, we call it continuing education, and that's the required part. But I think the part that makes it a joy and makes a profession continuing to be interesting and offer a challenge is curiosity, where, you know, sometimes you'll read the report in a case that you know isn't in your specific practice area, but it's an interesting case nevertheless. I always like to remind lawyers that we have skill sets that typically are not present in most other people, and those are the ones that we should use. So when a lawyer talks to me about a case, you know, and of course, when you're on the bench, it's usually the lawyer complaining about a case or complaining about one of my opinions. But when a lawyer talks to me about a case, you know, one of the first things I do is I very, very readily confess whether or not I am familiar with the case. Because if I'm not familiar with the case, I can't talk. And so sometimes I turn that around and I ask this question: have you read the case? Because we're lawyers. Don't read about the case, read the case. And so I think that's important.
Be prepared.
Yeah.
Lifelong learner. Be curious. Yes, yes, yes. So you had commented earlier about relaxing and sort of being more kind to ourselves.
Yeah.
So what do you do to relax?
Well, I am an avid reader. I'm in 2 different book clubs, so I read a lot. I love to exercise. I love fitness. So I like to do all kinds of fitness programs and sort of events. I'm not a runner or anything like that, but I do a lot of different things in my fitness life. And I really enjoy spending time outside in nature with my family. I'm lucky enough to have all of my family right now living in the same city. So do a lot with family. All of those things, I think, are what I do to be me. And so I always, you know, anytime on any day, I can do anything, any of the things I've just named. I don't have to travel to do it. I don't have to go somewhere to do it. I don't have to have certain temperature or circumstances to do it. I can just do it. And those are the things that afford me the ability to slow down and relax.
Unplug and relax.
Mm-hmm.
Keep it all together.
Yeah.
Again, a good message for folks as they are planning their careers and looking forward. It's not about the law 24/7, 365, right. Although on any given day we think it is. It's good to hear the message of the importance of the balance. And you taking the time to share that. Myra, I have to say again, congratulations on this honor. I'm thrilled that you've been selected by the association to be an AHLA fellow. Well deserved. Thank you very much.
Thank you, David.